Hey everybody, welcome to the Rule of Two Podkast. We're your hosts. I'm Aaron Richland.
And I'm Sean Ritter, and this is our first ever podcast and a little introduction to what you can expect to hear and experience on the Rule of Two podcast.
Yeah, this is 2 years in the making now? I think we kind of thought about doing it 2 years ago.
2 years sounds about right.
It's at least when we came up with the name.
Right. Yeah, I think 2 years, if not longer. I can't believe we're actually finally getting around to it. It's this exciting stuff. So let's talk a little bit about what everybody can expect when they're listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, we say it's everything Star Wars, but what does that really mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll be discussing and kind of breaking down a lot of things when it comes to trailer releases, new movie releases. I'm a huge book nerd when it comes to Star Wars, so we will definitely be pretty much every major novel that comes out. We'll definitely be,
doing a deep dive into those kinds of things. We have some ideas of some guests and other people we want to have on the show, and
a few tricks up our sleeve just to kind of keep the show interesting for everybody that decides to listen.
Bottom line, if you're into Star Wars, you're a Star Wars nerd, you want to hear and learn and know more about everything Star Wars, this is where you want to be. So now that you know a little bit about our show and what we're going to be talking about, we want to give you a little bit of background about who we are and our Star Wars upbringing. How long have we been Star Wars fans for?
I would say probably, for me, over 20 years, 22 years, and I'm only 28. Maybe longer.
I see. So you're a loser because I was a Star Wars fan when I was in the womb.
Probably.
Basically,
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
No. When's the first time you remember seeing Star Wars? Can you pinpoint like an age?
So that's a pretty good question. So I actually remember something pretty oddly specific, and it is back in probably 97, 98, maybe 96. I don't know. I remember driving. I think we were driving to California, and we stopped at a gas station, and my stepdad at the time was a huge Star Wars fan, and he bought me the X-Wing Rogue Squadron novel at the gas station. And
interesting.
I barely knew how to read, probably, but I remember that's one of my first things that I remember about being a Star Wars fan, which is very odd.
I remember my parents had the VHS collection. I don't know if you remember that, but it was episode 4, 5, and 6, and it came in like this cool collector's cardboard thing. I think they still have it. But I remember finding it one day. I want to say I was like 5 years old was the very first time I ever saw Star Wars. And my mom was a huge Star Wars fan. She went to go see it when it came out in theaters in 97. And it was pretty much, history from there.
Now that you mention it, I do remember the special editions coming out, and I believe that was 97, right? And I do remember my mom and stepdad taking me to go see that. So I guess the earlier thing was probably a bit earlier than I actually remember.
You went to go see it, and then you in theaters?
I did. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I don't remember those coming out. I actually didn't know they were a thing until I was much older.
Gotcha.
I never went to see those in theaters.
Yeah.
Which is probably a good thing, because they kind of suck a little bit.
I know what you're talking about. They're awesome.
So if you had to pick a favorite Star Wars movie, TV show, novel, all the above, what would it be? That
is a good question. When you combine all of them like that, oh man, I'd have to think about that for a second. The answer is kind of weird. So I like Empire Strikes Back the best as a movie, right? Mm-hmm. But nostalgia for me, kind of puts Revenge of the Sith up there because of how hyped we were about it, how I was such a nerd around the time and practically knew everything that was happening before going to see it. And to me, all of that combines to kind of be one of my favorite movies of all time.
It meant a little more to us, right? Because we were part of all of the trailers when they were coming out. We were part of all of the spoilers and the articles and everything, and it was a huge anticipation, and we were younger, so it meant a little bit more. I understand.
And the skipping of school and seeing our teachers and all that stuff, that was that was fun.
It was a good day. I think for me, if we're talking all-time favorite Star Wars thing, it's tough. I want to say collectively the Bane novel series.
Very good.
It's definitely up there. And I want to go maybe jump in toward the realm of video games because I have to call out KOTOR. That's got to be one of the best Star Wars things I've ever experienced. One of my favorite video games. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a little bit about us, guys. Just wanted to give you a brief introduction into what to expect. We look forward to coming to you each and every week, couple weeks.
Something like that. We'll figure it out. This is our very first time ever doing a podcast, so, we're figuring it out as we go, and we hope that whoever listens to this enjoys it.
We're just here to talk Star Wars. That's our main goal. Thanks for joining us on episode 0. We hope you enjoy what is yet to come.